Morning, morning. Hey. Hey.
All about the energy. Good morning. They started. Good morning.
Good morning. Grand Rising.
Good morning. What's up, tribe? Hey. Good morning. Hey. Good morning. Go. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. We about to tap into your energy. Hey. We ain't worried about no enemies. They call us sentimental beings. We be tapping in your energy. We don't worry about no enemies. The hierophants on the drum. Let your heart be free. We be tapping in your energy. Go. Hey, you got healed and release the pain.
That's right. What's up, tribe?
What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, happy Saturday. Good morning, right? Hope you guys are doing well in positive energy and attracting the life you desire because it's your birthright, okay? Of course, we're coming through with the loud for you guys. Take the message how it resonates in your life. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't forget, if you love the video, share the video out. If you love the video, show it some love, okay? And don't forget, if you're not already, you may want to subscribe to the page so that you can get more messages like this one.
Okay. Morning, Grand Rising, everyone. Pray everyone is in good spirits this morning. So we're going to pull these cards and get out a message and see what the message is for today.
I heard Duke. I don't know if this is your nickname, your name, Duke. You could have a dog named Duke, but something about Duke is significant here. Hey, we about to tap into your energy. What you know about that?
Tap, tap, tap in.
Okay, so I don't know, something about that. I heard the name Jordan, Miranda, Melissa, and Kelly this morning. And we got the Fool.
Coming out.
Okay?
Love it.
We got the Fool card. So I don't know if you're an Aquarius, okay? I don't know if you are just stepping out on faith, you know? I don't know if you are just taking more risk, more opportunities are coming towards you. You could be more open-minded to just trying new things right now. You know, the Fool is all about being willing to take healthy risk. You know, the fool, he doesn't mind leaving home with a little knapsack full of not too many things because he knows that he has opportunity out in the world, right? And I feel like this is you. This morning you could be feeling like endless opportunity is here for you. And I believe that because at the bottom of the deck we have the Page of Pentacles here. So it lets me know that not only are you in the energy of taking healthy risks, but you're exploring. You could be traveling right now. Okay, I just heard nomads. Okay, something like that, right? But you could just be exploring the world. You could really be exploring yourself, right? There's someone out here, and I don't know if you're going through like self-discovery or something like that. You could be really discovering who you are and going on a whole new, I'm hearing tantric journey, okay? Something about that. A journey that's very exciting and energizing is what I'm seeing here for you, okay? There's someone, and it's like, you know, you're willing to jump off of the edge into opportunity. And I'm so proud of you because that's like, you know, walking in the unknown, you know. There's a person here and you're not afraid of what you can't see because you got hurt by what you already seen before, right? So the things you can't see really don't hurt you. It's not scary to you. It's not intimidating anymore. And I love this for you. Now, there is something about the past here with the Six of Cups. Okay, you could be feeling very nostalgic. Me and my husband were talking about that this morning. I was talking to my husband and I was like, well, babe, you know, if they mention certain Baltimore songs, this is what I'm going to mention. And he was like, you stuck 30 years ago. Right? So I'm like, I don't know. You could be like very nostalgic right now. You can be having some memories about the past. You could even be going back and reliving some things from your childhood, recreating some photos from your childhood. You could be doing things that, you know, you wanted to do, but maybe your family didn't have enough money to do. Maybe you didn't have the courage to do. Whatever it is, I see someone stepping out here, okay? You could be getting your flowers right now, okay? Someone could be really giving you your flowers here, okay? Because you're bold, you know, being so bold to step out on something. To step out into the unknown.
So I got big Sagittarius energy over here, as well as Libra energy, right? And again, this justifies exploration with the Fool and her saying you needed to explore. But also I see a Ten of Wands to the exploration, Six of Swords. So basically, there is another way to do something. That's what the footnote says, right? Exploration. So you could be carrying a burden and I'm feeling like maybe you need to explore ways around it. Or, you know, I mean, you could be doing something and you could be wondering why it's not working, right? And it could be kind of like a burden. And I feel like with the exploration to the Six of Swords, your relief is going to come quite possibly when you learn a different way to deal with this Ten of Wands.
I heard Jay-Z, I got a million ways to get it.
It could be somebody, actually. Like, you could be carrying a responsibility for somebody. It could be burdensome, it could be stressing you, it could be blocking you, right? Also a loss of faith, frustration, and excessive pressure. I feel like this Ten of Wands is more mental than anything, right? So maybe you need to kind of like Six of Swords to the exploration.
It's almost like those cards moved them over
It
here.
says actually move from problems and be mindful of what you take. Taking on responsibility. I feel like maybe somebody, you just got too much of a responsibility on you for other people. Maybe you kind of like carrying the opinion of other people. You could be carrying the weight of other people, right? And I feel like your Six of Swords is out here, right? Exit, moving beyond, problem solving, deeper thinking, and research, right? Problem solving. I feel like you got like a problem or something. It's a burden that somebody's carrying. And Spirit is saying a little exploration and you can find out how you can deal with it better. You can transmute the energy even. I know it's Sagittarius and Libra energy. I mean Aquarius energy, I'm sorry.
I feel like this next card is so appropriate for my previous energy. It says anything you lose comes around in another form. Opportunity, choices, and transformation. So I don't know, over here, someone took an opportunity. It's like, God gave you a download about something and you ran with it. It's like, at one point, maybe you were getting downloads and you weren't really taking action, but I'm seeing someone over here taking action, okay? Something like that. And anything you lose comes in another form. I had to really learn myself that some of the things I thought I was losing, it was necessary for me to grow, right? So you could be going through the same thing, finding that some things that you lose are not really, it may seem important, but it's not really conducive to your growth anyway. So it's not something that we should really fret over, okay? So something about that. We got a lot of opportunities, choices, and transformation. Choices. Our choices are very important right now. It says, let the water settle and the stars will be mirrored in you. Take a break. Take time away. It brings clarity. I feel like this is what happened. Someone broke away from, honestly, I feel like someone broke away from that Ten of Wands energy over there, and then you had the Six of Swords. So I feel like someone was really carrying some kind of burden that they moved away from, and now you could be free is what I'm getting over here. I'm getting more like a free spirited person that, you were trapped for so long. You ain't trapped anymore. You're learning that the things you lost, it ain't really a loss. It's a gain for you. Okay. Letting the water settle. That's kind of like, allowing the divine flow to just, flow. Something about that. Taking a break brings clarity. Sometimes we just try to go, but it's quality over quantity, right? It should be anyway, right? Because if you just go, that means you're not just always giving your best, because at some point you have to become tired because you have to rest, right? So something about that. Take time away when necessary, okay? Don't force yourself to do things, that you're not really ready to do, especially when it comes to your spiritual gifts. I think it's very important that you know when it's time to rest and when it's time to work, right? Because I feel like you should be delivering your best, and someone needs to rest here. Someone could be not getting the proper rest.
Hey, this is Earth sign energy, big Virgo energy, Capricorn, Taurus energy, and is reading me the Ten of Pentacles in reverse to the Eight of Coins, right? Now, this is a person that is becoming a master at quite possibly something that's not so good. Like, for one, insecurity. You know how we become masters at disillusionment. Like, we become masters at being insecure. We become masters at slowfulness. Like, it comes from, like, if I be honest, we develop these characteristics because we have a lack somewhere in our mind. Like, maybe taught certain things, taught certain beliefs. This Ten of Pentacles in reverse to the Eight of Coins, it shows me a self-mastery, but not necessarily something that's going to be beneficial, right? It feels like it could be instability, dullness of mind. Like, I feel like if I fall into a space where I want more, but I can't see myself with it, then, maybe I won't. If I want more, but I can't see myself with it, where does that leave me at?
Nowhere.
It leaves me stuck, because my actions are going to be counterproductive. Because I really don't see myself with it.
Right. I'm
just trying to move, right? And I feel like a little bit of work can turn this around. You got Gaia out here as your supporter. The number 22, 28 could be significant, and the year 1982 could be significant. The frequency of God reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are great out to our great mother, and the universe that birthed us all. So even with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and this speaking about us being connected, it could be a family rift. It could easily be, you can have certain insecurities or feeling like a failure in regards to certain things about your family. Not necessarily saying you a failure, but you could feel like, well, I failed at establishing a relationship with my family, or it's not saying like you're a failure, but I feel like it's some things that you feel you may have failed at, and that could be part of your insecurity here, right? Nevertheless, grounding can help.
I'm hearing self-pity.
It could be self-pity. It could be self-pity.
That's what I'm hearing you describe.
You know? And I don't think that it's something to be, it's not something to run away from the channel about because somebody said you might be suffering from a little bit of self-pity. I think we all do. Especially when you look at what you went through. It's like, damn, why did I have to go through so much, right? But if you look on the flip side of that coin, it made you as sharp as you are. It made you strong enough to be the person that you are today. That's why you went through what you had to go through.
Dang. I'm so clumsy. Anybody a Sag here? Are you clumsy, Sag? I'm a clumsy Sag. No lie. What about you? What about you, Sag? Are you clumsy too? All the Sages I know are clumsy. It's not just me. Okay. Let's see. We got the 4 cups in the reverse. I love that in the reverse. That means that, like, someone is really seeing, that the 4 cups in the reverse tells me, it speaks to me gratitude. It's the opposite of being disappointed. It's being grateful, So someone is showing more gratitude right now. I don't know if you love dolphins or something. That could be like your favorite animal. I'm seeing something here about someone showing more gratitude. Someone being able to appreciate the small things. Maybe you could have been looking for big things to show up in your life. And when you weren't seeing big drastic changes, you could have been disappointed, right? But now when small things happen, you understand that they are miraculous things. Something like that. Okay. I feel like also there's someone who, you're no longer drinking from half full cups. Like, if you're going to give me a cup of juice, I want the full cup when you give it to me. Otherwise, I don't want it at all. And kudos to you for having boundaries. Because, a city with no walls, we know what happens there. It's under attack, right? So something about protecting yourself here. Okay, we got the 4 of Pentacles coming out. So I don't know. You could be standing firm, on your discipline, on your boundaries, okay? There could be something that I feel like there could be a lesson that you're holding on to as well. Maybe you were in the energy of feeling discontent, disappointed, not really showing gratitude. And maybe you learned a lesson from that and you're holding on to the value from the lesson is what I'm getting. Okay, there could have been a very valuable lesson. Yeah, Queen of Wands. I knew it was a Sagittarius here. Who's the Sag? Now, this is a Leo card, but I don't know. I'm feeling Sagittarius energy. You could be a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries in the energy. But we already know who the Queen of Wands is. A very magical queen, okay? So I'm not sure if you practice some kind of magic here. I'm hearing apothecary, okay? Something like that. You could be a herbalist, okay? Yeah, I'm definitely seeing someone, your herb game is real sick here. Okay, you can really heal some people with these herbs, but there's something about holding on to your dignity, your courage, and, your position of authority as a woman, because you could be a woman that I'm talking to. You could be a woman that is in the workforce with a lot of dominant men, and I don't know, you could be holding your position here. Yeah, you could be like in a male predominant environment, like, you could be like a truck driver or an engineer or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, right? Something significant here about a black cat as well. You could have seen a black cat. Something about that omen. Okay.
I got 5 of Swords out here to the throat chakra, right? And the number 55 can be significant. Actually, the fives are interconnected, right? That's a consistency. We know that as a synchronicity, right? My intuition is telling me that it's confusion and it's coming from the mouth of people. People talking a lot. 5 of Swords to the throat chakra is a bunch of gossiping, hearsay, right? And then you got the devil in the mix, right? So this screams of even addictions, right? 5 of Swords to the devil, throat chakra, right? I feel like somebody could be using very harsh words. This could even be spell casting, honestly. Like, this could be somebody easily reciting enchantments. Like,
I see somebody taking like a dark oath.
devil to the throat chakra, 5 of Swords, somebody speaking very ill of somebody in this energy.
Someone could be sworn into a secret society or something.
Yeah, it could be sororities or secret societies as well. Gangs are secret societies. Any type of, this could be like, when she's saying a secret society, it can just be
bike club.
a group of people that move under the radar, right? You actually have secret societies inside of churches. They actually just arrested, like, I seen 2 big heads of 2 churches somewhere. They was arrested for trafficking and all kind of stuff, right? But that was more or less, they was moving like a secret society. A secret society is not just this big faction. It's some people, you could take 12 people and they could form a secret society. They can go find a spirit they agree with, and next thing you know, they making moves in the dark, right?
Okay.
Spell casting, 5 of Swords to the throat chakra.
That's how you have a coven of witches, right?
I mean, it could be. I'm not going to say that it's definitely a coven of witches because I don't want to get nobody paranoid.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying what
it's
I
showing
see.
up, though.
I'm just saying what I see here.
It doesn't have to be that, though. You know, like I said, it can be.
I just see dark stuff.
It can be people. Because let's be real. When we give readings and people hear readings, sometimes people take things and get carried away with them. And a coven of witches doesn't have to be people with brooms and sticks. It can be a couple people.
5 chicks sitting there running their mouth, gossiping about you and your business. That's a coven of witches right there.
That can be a coven of witches.
They can't keep their mouth out your business, right? But I know this to be true because honestly, we got the devil here to the judgment to the 2 of Swords. So you tell me what you think, that you write in a comment. What would you say for this? Okay?
The devil out here.
Right? Because for me, I don't know if you're a Capricorn. I don't know if you're a Libra.
Oh, it's Capricorn energy.
Okay? But there's something about someone being judged here because something that they've been doing, let's be honest, because of their obsession with you. Okay, because someone don't want to let something go. Now, this could be you as well, right? Being obsessed with things. I don't know, whoever it is. Someone's being judged here. We got Archangel Michael showing up.
Judgment to the devil.
We got judgment to the devil. So someone's being judged because of the actions that have been going on, you know. The devil is like obsessions. The devil is like bad habits. You know, so someone could be going through judgment for this right now. And there's a choice that needs to be made with the 2 of Swords here. A decision, a clear, decisive decision here. This is not something where you can wear this blindfold. This blindfold has to come off. You know, when Archangel Michael comes out on top of the devil, you know, you remember what happened here now, right? You already know what happened with this one. See, he already won the war.
I was about to say something about that.
Okay.
It could be a war over you. Like, it could be like
Moses.
You could be in a place where, like Moses was, like when Moses transitioned, right? His body, God wanted that, but the devil wanted it too.
That's right.
So Archangel and the devil, they had to go at it over the body of Moses, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And this could be the energy that somebody could be in. It could be literally a war going on over your soul.
Like, yeah, it could be,
you could be being pulled. You can be pulled, and you can be literally feel yourself being pulled in 2 directions.
I truly believe this. You know, I feel like there's someone, even us as we are, you know, elevated spiritual beings, we're constantly evolving. And I feel like someone could really even be looking at you. I mean, you could be a great person, right? You don't necessarily have to be out here doing crazy stuff, but there's still some things in all of us that we're constantly working on. And I feel like someone's really battling their dark and their light right here. Okay. You could be really going through a battle of the dark and the light inside of you. This doesn't have to have anything to do with another person. This could be literally the battle of self, right? Do I go this way or that way? But remember, when you pick that side, you have to stay there, right? Lukewarm water, nobody can use it. Nobody wants lukewarm water.
You can't do nothing with it.
You can't do anything with it, right? So it's like, I don't know, someone's going through some kind of realization. Blue Cross and Blue Shields have been coming out a lot. Okay? I don't know if there's some kind of, there's something about a shelter that keeps coming up. Okay?
Yeah, over here I got the Sun to the Ten of Swords. And what I like about this is light being shed on quite possibly a plot to trap you or unalive you. And with this universal love, I'm not saying it's not necessarily somebody that told you something. This could be ancestors that brought you a download. This could be God talking to you. And this could be Archangel Michael intervening, right? Because you got Sun to the Ten of Swords. That right there, that's the truth being shed. That's like, the Ten of Swords is also a harsh ending. So something could have came to light, and you decided, look, I gotta go, right? And with it, like I say, universal love, 44 could be significant. I feel like you caught the download. I feel like this was one of them energies where as though you knew something wasn't right. You couldn't quite put your finger on it, but the sun came. And you realize, like, you got a realization, an intuition, a knowingness, a deeper. This sun is a major arcana. So some truth came about. And like, Sun on the Ten of Swords. That's like, I see you, That's like something being formed against you, and then you able to see it. And you like, oh, okay, let me make an adjustment, right?
Who is David in witness protection? I don't know. It's very important for you to listen to high frequency music right now.
I knew this was coming.
If you're listening to music that gets you in the mode to want to fight, music that gets you in the mode to want to drink and party, music that is getting you into these different energies, pay attention to that this weekend. Okay? It's very important. I know it's Saturday. The spirits is calling. We got the Ace of Cups coming out here for you. And I love it, to the Wheel of Fortune. That's like a change of events that brings in emotional fulfillment. Now, I don't know if it's something that you are doing, something that God is going to surprise you with, whatever it is. This is like the energy of when everything comes together and you become emotionally fulfilled. It's like that kind of energy. Now, I don't know if you are an Aquarius, you could be a Taurus, or if your name is Tia, Arthur, okay, or Tony or something like that. But what I can tell you is, you're writing this. You're writing your own story. You're writing your own story. I see like a storybook. Someone's, every time you make a different decision, you're changing the pages to your story. Something about that. You could be making very emotionally mature decisions right now.
I got the Empress out here to the prosperity. The age 36 can be significant. And then I got the Empress also being justified by the Nine of Cups in reverse, right? And this is, again, insecurity. This showed up at the beginning, right? Now, I'm saying the Empress is a Libra energy. It could be a Libra energy, but it also the Empress is a major arcana. So look away from the zodiac and look at what the Empress embodies. This is what the Empress embodies: fertility, beauty, happiness, nature, pleasure, development, and success, right? But then it's being clarified by greed, materialism, selfishness, mistakes, and imperfection. This feels to me like an Empress that's failing to live up to your full potential, right? And I think you leaning towards your insecurities, meaning you're not necessarily in the energy of fertility when you're being selfish, because you're not birthing, right? Meaning, like, let me explain what I'm feeling in my intuition. If I'm an Empress and I look at the world like this, you know, everything is I, or me, right? Because somebody's conversation is I, or me. That's not the energy of fertility. That's centering life around yourself. So that becomes the energy of pessimism. Optimism is more fertile because it's saying, okay, I can extend beyond myself to other people. Even if you're in a bad situation, right? It doesn't matter. It still shouldn't be I, or me. Not for the Empress, because the Empress is walk in prosperity, meaning like the Empress, the only one that could get in the way of the Empress is the Empress herself. That's it. Because you have the energy, you have the ability, you even have success promise. But if you're going to keep making the same old mistakes or focusing on the same old imperfections, right? Or if you let your desire become materialism, you're going to lose. The Empress don't chase money. The Empress attract money. The Empress is in a position to receive, birth, give, all of these things. So if you find yourself on the other end of it, it could honestly be due to insecurity, not really believing in who you are. Somebody.
Cody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We got the page of the Knight of Pentacles here. You know, the Knight of Pentacles. So I see what this is. You know, things could just be moving very, 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 very slow. Okay? I'm talking about your progress could be so damn slow that it could almost seem non-existent. I get it. Been there. I totally understand that energy. However, what you have to understand is when the Knight of Pentacles comes out, he's still a knight. He still has a horse. He still can move. Just because he's not moving as fast as we desire, it doesn't mean he's not moving to the beat of his own drum. Okay? So something about that. Remember that just because your progress is not happening how your sisters is happening, your progress is not happening as fast as your cousins, your progress is not happening as fast as your neighbors, it doesn't matter. Your progress is still happening. Okay? Something about you need to know this. Okay? Because we can get in the energy of feeling like, you know, because things are not moving as quickly as we feel, it puts us in a funky energy and we become ungrateful. When right now I feel like we should be showing gratitude, because when you have the Ace of Cups to the Wheel of Fortune, number 10 could be significant.
Slaying demons.
You know, that is like, you know, for me, going to from rags to riches spiritually. You ever had a spiritual deposit that really changed your life around? I'm not talking about the things that money can buy you. I'm not talking about the clothes. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about a spiritual deposit that brings in the sun to the Four of Wands to justice. Okay? Right? Leo, We got fifth house energy. You know, this brings in happiness. This brings in, you know, a certain kind of awareness, you know, where things can be seen. You can be seen for who you truly are. Because I feel like right now, people could have you in a dark light. You know, a lot of people, I believe, you know, people label me as a voodoo queen, and I don't know shit about voodoo, right? So people could label you the same way. You know, maybe people think you do shit that you really don't do. And it's cool because the sun is here. Things will be exposed when they need to be. And all the people that talk behind your back saying that you do things that you don't do, it's okay, right? God knows what goes on in the privacy and the confinement of the home, right? So don't worry about that. This is like divine justice. When God comes in and he has you sitting in front of all of your enemies and they have to watch you rise above them because they talk so bad about you, right? This is even the energy where you just have to watch yourself rise above from all of the negativity you spoke to yourself. Like when you told yourself you was broke. When you told yourself, I don't have enough. When you told yourself, I can't do this, right? It brings instability here with the Four of Wands. I don't know if someone's getting engaged, married. You're just more stable in life. Your mind could be more stable, okay? There could be someone where you really suffered with some mental health issues at one point, and now you have become more stable, right? Maybe your mental health had really taken a toll because you were putting everything before you. Okay, now you are here sitting in front of me with a stable mind, right? A person that they label crazy, a person that they label, you know, this person can't manage things on their own because someone wanted to take someone's money here. I don't know if someone tried to deem you incompetent of handling your own finances or something like that.
Damn, Six of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. That's what that is too.
Okay. Yeah. You know, that love of money, I had people doing all kinds of things. I don't know if you were a child getting a check or something like that from the state, if you were adopted, foster care, something. Someone was doing something for a check here.
Somebody was taking some money.
Okay, someone was doing something only strictly for money, but they didn't understand that even them trying to steal from you when you were a child, it was a part of God's plan. You've been chosen. You've been a part of the kingdom. You were sent here so people could do these things and they could be revealed, right? If you weren't put in a lot of situations, there were a lot of people that would have never been exposed. See,
You know,
people thought they could do things to you because they would not be exposed.
when people steal things from us, because I went through that situation, trust and believe God allowed it to happen. And if you would have received what was stolen, it might have been the end of you. You know, think about some money that was stolen. Well, sometimes just think of it like instead of having resentment, maybe you wasn't ready for it. Maybe there's a reason why God allowed it to go down like that.
Okay.
You got Six of Pentacles to the growth. So I feel you're giving.
I like that.
That's good. You know, in the area of giving, somebody's grown. But you have Six of Pentacles also to the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, so that's given to the wrong thing as well, right? Discord, arguments, friction, financial failure, fleeting success, lack of stability, misfortune, loss, and theft. Six of Pentacles. So you got to check who and what you giving to. You grew, and trust and believe, a person who gives in the real Six of Pentacles, you will receive. It kind of reminds me of, you know, let's just say you got a minister, male or female, woman or man, and they have no intentions of doing anything for people, right? But yet and still, they have a congregation. And they promote to the congregation, give to get a blessing. Now let's say you in the congregation and you giving, but you giving from your heart, right? Oh, you will receive the blessing. You gonna, because the act of giving and receiving, it supersedes, you know, so continue to be a person that give equal measure. That your giving is actually allowing you to grow.
Expecting nothing in return.
But what God is saying, Spirit as well, stop giving to Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Stop giving to discord. Stop giving to friction. Stop giving your time to unnecessary arguments. And emergence is last. So you're being called to do that, right? Emergence. To do that, stop giving. Stop giving the things that's only taken. Stop giving the things that's not being equally, equal in exchange. Cut it back, right? It don't matter what it is. It's not about money. It's more or less about your time and your energy. Because when it comes to the giving, money is the least you can give. Money is, I ain't talking about money. If I knew what I knew now, back then, I would have gave people my money instead of portions of myself. Mm-hmm. I would have gave some people my money instead of my conversation. If I knew what I know now, because I've realized now the most valuable thing you can give is of you. Energy, pieces time. Yeah, that money that you give away, that's not helping you. That's not making you grow because you giving out money. This growth that I'm seeing is coming from somebody you're giving of yourself, and you can be giving the Lord too freely. Right? Turn back sometime. Ask yourself, right?
Right there, so.
Ask yourself, find yourself and ask yourself. You hear what I said? Spirit say, find yourself and ask yourself this question. After you find yourself, because some of us, we lose ourselves. Mm-hmm. We go crazy, instant, right? I've done it before.
I've been there.
Crazy as hell, right? So find yourself and then ask yourself, is what I'm giving to benefiting me? In the long run, is this going to raise me or elevate me? Is this going to help me? Is this even going to give me back if I'm down? Because some people, you giving all your time to somebody or some things, and when you need it, they not going to be there for you. And then you're going to be looking at the world like, why am I used all up?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing mighty fine. Last time I seen you, it's been a long time. Stop smiling at me, get that look off your face.
He who has an ear,
stop being so fake.
Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church, right? On some old school. He who hath an ear, hear what the... Listen, stop giving portions of yourself to things, because when you gone, right, the only one that's going to restore you is God. It's going to be you and God in the end anyway. So you might as well cut it now. I'm saying for real, like if I'm gonna give myself away, and in the end I'm gonna have to be right back. God, please save me, dear Lord, replenish me. Why is I'm gonna keep on? I'm gonna stop it because
I know you do not like me, and you made it very clear. You're always talking about me, from what I hear.
God called us to grow. Look, somebody you being called to do that. It's called emergence, right? So again, find yourself and talk to yourself.
Okay. Hello. So good, so good, so good. We doing so good. Destiny's Child could be significant here. That's what I'm hearing. I'm doing so good. We got the 9 of Cups out here. This is my genie in a bottle card. This is that card where, you've been asking for a thing, you've been praying for a thing, you've been hoping and wishing for a thing, and that thing comes to you. That's that energy. When the 9 of Cups comes out, it's also emotional fulfillment. Why? Because it's like, dang, God has shown up for me time after time after time again. It's like when your cup is all the way full, you don't even need the 10th one, because 9 is just enough, okay? Something about that here, okay? You could be, receiving a lot of good news right now. You could just be feeling very positive. And, how you feel so positive, right? You might just go out into the world and you vibrate. And you can tell some people just don't rock with you because you vibrating too high. That's the energy that I'm feeling. I feel like you are vibrating so high, demons, they just looking at you like, he needs to sit down somewhere. She needs to sit down with her happy self, keep smiling. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy that I'm feeling here for you with the 9 of Cups coming out. Okay? Yeah, with the 9 of Cups. Yeah, to the High Priestess, because your ajna, your third eye chakra is popping. It's lit. It's open. I knew I wore this for a reason. Okay, there's someone, and it's like, you know, you can see beyond the surface, beyond the veil, beyond the bullshit, beyond the lies, beyond all of it, right? It's something about you having a deeper knowledge here, you know? And I'm talking about not only having a deeper knowledge, but being responsible with the deeper knowledge. That means that everything that you see, you don't have to tell. That means that even though you know you are more powerful than a lot of individuals, you don't have to press your power, right? You don't have to force yourself anywhere. Something about that here. Something about a crystal globe. Okay, I don't know if you do some kind of spiritual work with a globe or something like that, but I feel like you're cloaked. Okay, I feel like right now, you know, it may feel like, you know, there's a lot of energy pressing up upon you, but it's so much shit that God has covered. Like, I feel like you're covered. People can't really even see too much about you. Like, they're digging into things, you know, it's still so many things you can't even see about yourself, right? There's so many compartments inside of you that are being unlocked. I feel like with this High Priestess card, BJ could be very significant. BJ, CJ, or DJ. Okay, these could be your initials or a family member. I don't know, something about Brittany Johnson. Okay, right? But there's something about a deeper knowledge here, a deeper understanding that brings in emotional fulfillment. It brings in, you know, everything that you've been desiring. You know, it's an inner standing of self. Brings in emotional fulfillment, brings in your desired wishes. Okay? Something about that.
I'm hearing Carlos.
I heard Carlita.
Carlos,
Oh
Drew.
Wow.
And Carlos, Drew, and Samir, Carlos, and Drew. All right. Like I was saying in the last one, you got this hangman to the endurance, and this hangman says failure to give oneself. And this just goes back to what I was saying when I was saying find yourself and talk to yourself, right? Somebody you giving away would go to you to somebody else.
Giving you the best that I got, baby.
Now listen, I'm gonna say that song right there.
Anita Baker.
You need to turn a station to that song, right?
Don't listen to Anita.
Don't listen to I'm giving you the best that I got, because you need that right now for
yourself.
You. Right?
You heard me. Come on.
That's what got people stuck. Giving you the best that I got, baby. And then you don't got nothing left. And then you have nothing left, right?
And then you say, then you become Karen White. I'm not your superwoman.
Lack of sacrifice, indecision, frustrated action. And I feel like that, you know. It frustrates you once you realize, like, man, you mean to tell me I'm not going to get nothing back out of this? Ain't it frustrating? When you dealing with an energy, it's kind of like expecting your child to say thank you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't that you want to beat down on them, but you gotta remind them, hey, Lord, hey, you realize how much that costs, right? Mm-hmm. Me in general, you realize what I had to do to get that for you, to make that happen. And then the kid would be like, oh well. Like, you well, some adults is like that. Mm-hmm. When a kid do it, it's tolerable. But imagine having an adult, you know, you giving them, and they just like, oh, whatever. Mm-hmm. Come on, man.
You know, I always like to say it like this. You know how I think about that? Like, if me and my husband, we both God's children, right? But every time God gives me something, I'm like, that's it. But every time my husband gets something, he's like, oh my good, thank you, Daddy. I'm so thankful. Yeah.
Somebody said Carlos is my father's name. You know, the other day I heard somebody's father's name.
Thanks, Skylar.
Ulysses, right? And they sent us the birth certificate.
I was so stoked.
Because I was like, is Ulysses your dad's name? And she was like, boop.
I thought she was playing because she ain't have no profile picture.
Is Carlos your dad's name? Hernandez. No, I believe you. Cause when I hear them names, I hear them in my clairs.
Hey,
Like,
sexy sassy. What's up? What's up? What's up, Ebonique? What's up, y'all? What's up, Shell? What's up, Just Mika? What's up, Scholar Soldiers? What's up, y'all?
look at this.
Allowance.
And this is what's happening. The things that you allowing. Allowance.
Better find yourself and help yourself for real. That's right.
Allowance, right? The 9 of Cups in reverse is telling me why you allowing it is due to your insecurity again. Look, the 9 of Cups came out twice, y'all. Look, in reverse. And this is the message, right? Let go of insecurities.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put the thing down, flip
Hey,
it, and
listen.
reverse it. Is y'all ready?
That might have been good enough for the older version of you. But to sit up there and be a new version of yourself, you gotta welcome in newness,
Hey, Ames.
right? For somebody. You don't have to allow things to go on like they've been going on, right? Because sometimes people will make you feel like if you cut them off, their life is going to end. And they do it, they shift it. It's like a real energetic fixture where you'll be feeling like
The bad
their
person.
percentage of your check.
You know, that's so
Like,
real.
you know, that you'll get paid and feel like, well, you know, they'll be over there doing them. They'll be living life in the way that they living. And here you go, you get paid and you move toward them to assist them due to insecurity. And it don't gotta be a person that's screaming to be loved. It could be somebody you literally feel sorry for. Like, you know, you like, man. And it's not wrong, it's nothing wrong with giving. But if you're doing it from a sense of insecurity, and if you're giving is stopping somebody from growing, it's not good giving.
You know, I remember one time, y'all, I've been in some crazy situations. So it was more than one time. I'm gonna say at least 2 people in my life, whereas though they were so narcissistic that it would be to the point where, like, when I be ready to leave, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm sick. I got this disease, or I got this going on." I'm like, what? You know, people are really crazy. They would start making up all these illness that they had and all of these reasons why they didn't feel like it was appropriate for me to leave the situation. But I'm like, none of this mattered when the situation was going on. So be careful with that. A person to start lying and start saying their family's sick and doing, I have dealt with those kind of things. You gotta choose yourself. You know, people are so sick and stuck in their own ways, and people want what they want. So people will manipulate you to make you feel guilty about doing what God is telling you to do. Imagine being in an abusive relationship and God is telling you to move. However, the person is telling you, "Oh, I'm sick now. I got this diagnosis." You ain't heard about this diagnosis the whole time, and now that you're ready, you better use your discernment here. I'm just saying how manipulative people are. You know, and this is coming from a woman that literally this happened to me. This literally happened to me. You know, a motherfucker tried to say they was sick all of a sudden. I'm like, what? You know, so be careful out here. You know, people will do anything to satisfy self.
And like, I hear you, Ebony. I love my family too. I literally do love them. I love all of them. But at the same time, I'm not going to let them affect me in no type of way. Why? Because I gave so much of my energy to them throughout my life that I realized, you know, okay, it's a way you give.
I'm definitely not doing it. I love my family.
It's a way you give, like, you know.
Love my family down, you know, but I noticed that a lot of my hurt, a lot of my pain came from my family, you know, so I had to separate myself from people, you know, because if my hurt and my pain is coming from here, right? And these are people that are maybe not even aware that they're hurting me. Maybe they think it's normal because this is how we grew up, you know, whatever it is, right? I don't have to tolerate that. That doesn't make me insecure. It doesn't make me anything. Right. It makes me actually stand up-ish. God is like, you know what? I'm finally proud that, you know, you could be like, you can stand up against the people that you love so dearly in your heart, and you can tell them no, right? Because I remember one time I didn't know how to say no. I'll be like, let me think about it. No. Now I'll be like, no, no.
It's like,
what's the reason? Because the answer's no.
It's like,
right?
Honestly,
yeah.
I feel like don't nobody gotta be a martyr for their family. Like, I'm not ready to be a martyr. Now, I'll give me the generational curse breaker. I'll be that. Before I be the martyr, you know? Like, because your family will attempt to martyr you, right? And I've experienced it. And a lot of times it happens like this. You begin to grow and you begin to do things differently. You're not on common ground with them no more. Now you become the sacrificial lamb. Or you the one that, I don't agree with what they doing, so then forth they are going to hell. Or, you know what I'm saying? It don't gotta be that extreme, but sometimes family will do that to you, right? And not to mention this, at the end of the day, we set the tempo for how we are treated. However we are treated, it's because we set the tempo for it. Trust me, if you develop an attitude where I'm not letting nobody play with me no more, guess what's gonna happen? People gonna start playing with you.
Because me, I know me, right? Me personally, I'm gonna just speak from my own personal. I am so giving, I have to have my walls up around my city. Because if I don't, someone will drain me dry.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
I have
overwhelming.
to be so protective of me because I love so hard that I can't let anything just creep up in my city. You know what I'm saying? Because I love too hard. And what happens is if I love so hard like that and I let something negative creep up into my camp, when I find out about it, I'm evil. Like when I find out about whatever crept up in there, I'm not a nice person when I find out. You know, so I gotta really make sure that I keep those kind of things out my camp because when I find out that something is not what it is, I'm very evil. Like that's my darkness. I'm very evil to those things. I could be very nasty when I feel like someone's creeping up in my city, right? In my town, in my spiritual space, and you know they're not willing to love how I love. You know, I know I can't have people there because if I have people there and I let them there, when I find out, it takes away from me because I become evil, right? I wanna hurt them. So therefore, I can't allow any cracks in my camp.
You can't allow people to rely on your strength. Because if you allow, you're a strong person, right? I consider myself strong, right? Well, the more people you let rely on your strength, the weaker you become. People have to find their own strength, right? Strength is allotted to, and if a person is not strong, you know, temporarily you might support them, but to let somebody deem you as their strength,
right,
is gonna make you weak.
Imagine somebody calling you every time they get into something. Now your children, all right, that's one thing, right? Your children are going to be your children, and that's just what it is. At some point, even your children, you have to be like, look, at some age, you know, if you're a good parent, at some age, you got to let that, you got to be like, okay, look, son, daughter, you got to face the, just like I had to face shit. When I was 18, I left home and I never came back.
Not even that, right? Even before then, right? You know what letting your child rely on your strength is? If you clean up everything and your child doesn't have to clean up, your child is relying on your strength.
No good.
They not learning. They not gonna know when they get a house, their house gonna be
dirty.
Filthy. You know why? Because they never developed their own strength to do it. They just relied on your strength. Mm-hmm. That's why sometimes you gotta push your children up off you. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not cleaning that shit up. Mm-hmm. Go in there and get it up. Go in there and do that. Go in there and do this. And the reason why is not
it's
not to be mean, right? It's not to be mean, but it's to push them to develop their own strength.
That's right.
Even when you're dealing with family members, right? No, yo, you can't keep coming over here. Mm-hmm. Take your ass down there and get some food stamps, right? Mm-hmm. I got you, but you gotta get some stamps or something.
You gotta do something. I'll meet you halfway.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you, but no, you're not gonna. And
if you keep letting people, and if you don't, and that's on you. You know, you're gonna be gray, stressed out, looking crazy, looking older than you are. I mean, that's just how it goes. I have to protect my peace is more important than anything, and that's just real. My peace is more important than anything, and if a relationship is causing me my peace, I don't care if it's my grandmother. You gotta go.
You heard
Granny.
me, Mom. You got grandma. You gotta sit
Grandma.
over there real quick.
Rest in peace. I ain't talking about you, Mom.
But I mean, you know, I didn't know that back then. But now I know it benefits everybody if you stay strong. You realize, like, if you go weak, look, man, listen. If you go weak, then what? You know what I'm saying? Then ain't nobody, then I guarantee you when you go weak, they go find somebody else to siphon from. Because that's what people do to strong people. They try to siphon as much as they can. And when they gone, they go, antennas go up and they looking for, you know, too many connected to too many narcissists, right?
You know, you can't tell me nothing about family. I sat up there and watched Cain and Abel. You know, that boy slayed his brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. It ain't no difference. You have to protect yourself from anybody, whoever it is. There's good humans and there's bad humans. And let's just face it, you know. We always want to say insanity. We always want to say, no, there's fucking bad humans and there's good humans. And that's just how it is. You know, it's no in between. Okay, something like that. Look, because a thief is always going to be a thief. If you allow them, they will come in and steal everything. With the Seven of Swords here, you know, this is a very mischievous kind of energy. Energy that you will think, you know, you ever meet, I'm telling you, it's crazy. The people that we think are, oh my gosh, I need to help them. Man, they will sucker you out. I'm telling you, the biggest con artist ever. Like, y'all,
We had a lady, we tried to help a lady. She came and stole stuff out of our house and lit candles in there and put magic all in the house.
And then she ended up very, very sick, you know?
I came back, I said,
he was like, what is that stuff?
You done burnt it. See, because I knew she did it because
she kept asking.
She was asking another, it was another lady that we knew. She got a spiritual store. And we met her, and there I had caught a connection from her father. Her father transitioned. So I was in the spirit store, and normally I don't say nothing to people, but I was like, I said something. And the lady that owned the store, she was trying to burn candle work in her store, and the lady was like,
trying to do spell work in a lady's store.
She was like, well, can I burn these black candles in the back real quick? And the lady was like, no, you can do that somewhere else, right? So boom.
Here we go.
Band night. We early, we was naive.
Captain pick a spirit up.
I get to talking to her. Next thing you know, we helping her move. But then again, as it boiled down to it,
now
the last thing we saw, we let her stay with us because she was in transition. And I knew she had the black candles, right? And I was like, she ain't gonna do this. I was like, she's not gonna burn them. I got up, put the church music on and everything, right? I put the music on and I said, look, we're gonna leave you here. We gonna get some breakfast. We be right back. We come back, she gone.
She got his jacket and my shoes.
And
doing spell work on us.
And burnt spell work in the house.
Yo did spell work on us and stole his shoes, my shoes and his jacket so she could have material to do the work on us.
And then when I asked her,
she became sick.
I said, because you know you always got a right. I'm gonna confront you at that point. I called, I said, hey, did you burn a candle in here? Oh no. I said, okay.
Listen, next thing you know, like 2, 3, 4 weeks later, we randomly find out that she's very, very sick in her stomach.
Yeah, she got ill.
You know, that spell, return, we don't gotta do return to sender. We pray, right? So our prayer against her spell work, now she's sick.
But I told her not to do it anyway.
We ain't do nothing to her, but she's very
I kind of
sick.
Sensed it. I perceived it.
You doing some spell work in
I
somebody's
perceived
house.
that she was trying to do it.
Why would you do that?
Because she was trying to probably get a spirit off of her. And
well, she was very sick. That's why she was attracted towards her stomach. Like it was like almost like an entity was inside of her, basically, in her stomach.
Yeah, remember? She was going through a lot of changes, right? But she had all these leckes tangled all up. So I was already telling her, like, your energies is crazy. Like you got all these lekke beads all tangled all up on you.
She was doing a lot because she was talking about how her man and another lady would be like doing sexual things in the graveyard.
Yeah, she was very
weird.
Painful.
She was very dark.
But we try not to judge. You know what I'm saying? We try not to judge.
We tried to help her.
try not to judge people.
We tried to help her, and she did spell work in our house.
But I told her, I warned her, I did, and then I confronted her, and I gave her a chance to make it right with spirit. And for any of my people connected to, if you ever do something wrong to somebody in spirit and they ask you, just be honest. Because if you lie, you give them permission to get beat up spiritually.
This wasn't even a family member. This was a client we randomly met in a spirit store. Because we do a lot of work out in the world, like, offline. So we get a lot of clients, in real time, in real life. So this was somebody we literally met. Spirit will send us out on a mission. We might be going to the store. Spirit be like, go help this person, right?
And I try not to carry the energy of staying away from people.
Yeah, he
I just
always
discern
jumping
them.
there. Yeah.
I just discern because some people are destined to be light and they shrouded by darkness. So some people you have to really discern like what's at the core of somebody. You give them the same opportunity that you would want somebody to give you. Because we all come from a certain amount of darkness.
And my husband really helped me with that. I'm not gonna lie, because I am a person like I've been reading energy since I was a child. So I automatically know people's intentions with us, and he does too. So I'm more of like the one y'all probably think it's him, but it's really more me. It's more him that's like, no, we got, this is our job, and it's more me like, I don't want to deal with him. Because I stay to myself. We stay to ourselves. So, when we have to allow all these different energies in, it's a lot, right? Mm-hmm. But he's always the one that reminds me constantly, like, this is a part of our mission. Most of the people, he always tell me, most of the people I deal with, they are different from you, he always has to, and it works for us, and God has been continuing to bless us with all kinds of different people. And I love that he sends us people that are totally opposite than us, that can help me learn and grow. Because I think at one point I was a person that was stuck in a certain mindset, I do. I think that I was raised by a person that has a mind, y'all, I might get canceled for this one.
No, don't say it, man. Don't even say it, man.
I was gonna put it in a nice way.
Some things is better.
I'm not gonna say it, but no, but like I was just, I was taught to be a certain way, and that certain way just wasn't appropriate for this life that I live. In order to be who I am destined to be, I have to be a person that can accept anybody from any walk of life and be able to look at them and see myself and be able to look at them and love them. And, that's a process, and I think I've been doing a good job.
You gotta give people benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, but if you grow strong in your own spirit, you will be willing to. See, me, I'm different. I'm a pain freak. Like everything that was ever sent to me, I'm the type of person, I thank God for them, what they sent and all that, because in those places where I was knocked out and I was losing battles and all of that, I was able to learn, and it made me stronger. So now when I see people, I'm able to yank them out of it spiritually because God gave me dominion over certain shit. I went through it, and you don't gain dominion. That's one of the problems that we have, thank you, is people don't understand a true spirit of empathy is developed in the hardships. Mm-hmm. It's not life, love, and abundant shit. And if that's what you think that life should be or spirituality, you sadly mistaken. Mm-hmm. You're gonna most likely be a person that go out in nature and get bit by a tiger. You know why am I saying that? Because people who think that nature is all beautiful, they roam outside and they not aware. Mm-hmm. The spirit realm is very much like nature. It's full of good things that's beautiful, but some of them beautiful things, they will sting you. Some of them things that look good, they will sting you. Some of them, just like in nature, some of them animals, you look at them, that's so beautiful, that animal will hurt you.
Well, they say if we knew what came on that night, we wouldn't even come outside.
The night is dark and full of many terrors, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I look at it like, what doesn't kill you surely makes you stronger. That's what I look at it. So I thank God, even for the lady that burnt the candles and put the spells in our old
I'm
house.
grateful for her too.
I thank God because it dragged me in. Spirit was like, come deeper.
For
you
me,
see that? I was like, damn, I wouldn't even saw that if it didn't happen.
Right.
Spirit was like, let me drag you in deeper.
I think for me, I'm grateful for that experience too, because again, I'm a woman that, you know, I know a lot of things, but it's some levels of darkness I can't imagine.
And
right?
see, I can't.
And, you know, that's where the balance comes in. You know, it's certain levels of darkness, just like, you know, I'm like, no, right? So I feel like to be able to see, to witness that with my own eyes, like a person that we loved, a person that we helped, a person that, you know, we really tried to help, and I watched her try to take advantage of us with money, with our services. I just seen her try to take advantage, and I watched God really put her in a position. You know, the curse only works if you deserve it.
Yeah.
And I really witnessed that. Like, I witnessed a lady who put a curse on us, and that shit backfired because we didn't deserve it. We were loving on you. We brought you in our home. You know, we read into your life, and, you know, we seen things that God revealed to us that you knew. She said to us, like, only God, you know, how do y'all know this? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for you to do things like that, you know, I'm glad that God opened my eyes to those levels of darkness. I'm so glad that I was introduced to the spell work, because I didn't know what was affecting me. I don't do it, you know. I had no idea that people were planning black magic and really doing voodoo. You know, when people say I turn you into a donkey, I thought they were joking. I didn't, you know, I was so naive that I didn't know.
Had to break it down to
I was so naive, like, oh, people really do this shit? Oh, okay, because all I know is Christ. Like, you know, my grandmother was Catholic. I grew up in a Catholic church and then Baptist.
And that particular spell that she talking about is a famous spell in Haiti, right? And they transform you into a donkey, right? But understand what it's saying. It's not that you're going to look like a donkey, right? What happens is you take on the soul attributes of a donkey, meaning you might start, right? Because your soul is being exchanged out. That's what a lot of Haitian magic is about. It's about exchanging the soul of people. Like, they do things over there. They turn you into a living zombie. You know what I'm saying? But all of it is from an exchanging of souls. Some people even go down and see Papa Legba because they want to exchange their soul out for a darker one, right? That's what some people do. Like, you got different things that people do, right? Now, like spiritual attacks, like she said, the most sure way to defend yourself is to be undeserving of a curse. If you live your life in a way that you don't deserve it, God will make a way out of it for you. Meaning, like, say you're a person, you got a general good heart. You naive to spell work and magic. You don't know nothing about it. You pretty much believe in God. You're a person that was raised maybe in church. You was raised, and that will protect you. Unless you start dabbling. Once you start dabbling and once you start sending energy around, now you're going to be deserving of the curse.
You know, and I want to go to a couple things y'all said, because y'all saying some good stuff. All right, so I'm going to start with this one. I didn't know words were so powerful. Yes. I didn't either, you know. And I had to really learn how powerful they were. You know, imagine going around, and this is my life. My whole life I've been going around saying things, and they've been happening, right? And I couldn't understand, like, you know, I literally speak things that be not as though they are. And that is called manifesting. Right? That is called calling in. That's what's happening. You know, your words are so powerful. If you can consistently call yourself broke, you know how somebody be like, let's go somewhere. You be like, girl, I ain't got no money. I'm broke. You should never call yourself broke, right? Right? You should never call yourself certain things. You should never say certain things. And so it's very important. You know, even the Bible says that the tongue is a weapon. One of the most powerful weapons is the tongue. Actually, the tongue, you can speak life or death with your tongue. That's how powerful word casting is, right?
Yeah, words.
And we don't even.
Yeah, words are. When people cast spells on you, they're using words to unlock portals and set frequencies.
That's right.
That's how powerful the words is. Some people sit back all day, like, on dark levels of occultism, they sit back like and surround themselves with even fecal matter, right? And just spit obscenities at your picture.
And then they
right?
tell, and then they teach.
And then you be over here wondering why, like, damn, yo, why I feel like it's because this is what's happening.
Yeah.
It's like they did a study, right? And you could Google this. It was a Asian man. He did a study on plants and words, right? He took 2 plants, and one plant,
Oh, I remember that.
he spoke
good, positive
nurturing,
words.
positive words
Yep.
to it.
And
the other one, he spoke obscenities. The one that he spoke obscenities to,
it died faster.
It died faster, and it had
Yep.
it had a rather deformity to it.
I seen that study.
The other one that he spoke affirmations to,
it grew. Yep.
The power of words.
That's real. And you know how, that's why you have to be careful. Think about when you were little. I know my mom taught me this. And, she didn't know any better because she was taught this.
Yeah.
Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Well,
Don't teach your children
I ain't gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I can take a hard hit, but them words.
Don't teach your children that.
Words hurt you, right? So therefore, they've been lying to us the whole time. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words are spells that we cast. That's why when you tell your child, you're just like your daddy, you're just like your mama. You're casting spells upon these youth, right? Right? Just like if you tell your child, I tell mine all the time, you're not a YN, you a YK. Well, what is that? You a young king. I tell mine all the time, what's up, YK?
You know why
young
we got
king. I gotta let them know I have to speak words over them, because if not, guess what? They're gonna get words spoke over them at school. I gotta let them know.
You know why we got a lot of YNs out there, so to speak, trigger pullers or whatever? It's because of the words that's molding them. See, a lot of times the parents have resentment for one another, right? And because the parents have resentment for one another, those are the voices that shape the mind of the YN. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the mother was mistreated by men, so she raised a boy to be a slaughter of men.
Right.
He's a boy that grows to put men down because
that's all mama did.
And maybe dad has a resentment for mom, and he raises the son and he becomes an abuser or a womanizer. Why? Because the words that shape them, right? It's the words that make you want the streets to be safer. You want stop saying shit to your kids.
Right.
Now. If you want things to be better, right? Stop taking out the resentment on them, because that's going to charge them. Even if you walk around and don't say it, but you carry it. Like, I
want to go back to this one too.
If you carry the resentment, it manifests into what we see.
That's real. The violence in the street, all of that. Now I want to go back to another comment from Just Mika. So when hardship comes, instead of being caught up in it, try to learn from it. That is hard to do. You guys are special people. It's not hard to do, and you can do it too. When hardships and challenges come, we're humans, so we all, all our emotions arise. We know something's happening. But what it is how you start looking at life, right? I am almost at midlife, so I'm understanding now when a challenge arises. First of all, they've been arising for 30-something years, right? And I've made it here, right? Also, I know that every time a challenge has arisen, I have been assisted by the divine to make sure that even if it was hard, I made it through, right? So it's not hard when you have faith, because the situation you were in the last time where you thought, it was the hardest thing in your life. Even a breakup. You ever been through a breakup and you be like, oh my God, you cried your eyes out. You thought you could never get over it. And look at you now.
You found your balance.
It's like, you're not even worried about that past that happened 10 years ago, right? So it's not so hard. When hardship comes, it's all about how you deal with your challenges. If you approach challenges head on and be like, all right, look, it's a problem. I'm not going to run from it. I'm going to stand right here. All right, we got a problem. What is it, right? When you handle problems like that, assistance comes.
And I'm gonna take it here. Just say life hit you and knocked your screws, knocked the sonic rings out of you, right? You got hit with the hardest thing you can imagine, and it knocked your scruples loose. You know, I want you to imagine a person that falls off a ladder and hits the ground. Boom! You know the first thing they do? I'm alive, right? Then a person might check to see how everything works. That's how we gotta learn how to deal with it when it comes. First of all, boom, it hits you.
It's the initial shock of the, you know.
But you alive. That's a great start. I'm alive. I'm alive. It didn't finish me. I'm alive. Once you really can resonate with I'm alive, then you can really realize, okay, it wasn't sent to destroy you.
That's right.
No matter how much it feels like it was sent to destroy you, and this could even be, she said, like a breakup. Because some of them breakups,
yeah, you know,
they make you feel like, you know, it's because it's spiritual connections, it's soul connections
ties
on certain levels.
Past life energies.
But I guarantee you, right, as long as you are alive, you will find balance. You can find balance. As long as you are alive, you can find balance, right? Only when you're not alive, you can't restore balance.
That's right.
As long as you're alive, you can restore a certain type of balance. And somebody, you gotta begin to look at life that real.
You know, and that's so real because I don't know if you even understand who you truly are, because you have been the problem solver in every situation. Think about it. You're always the one that has to solve the problems. I told you, a lot of you guys are customer service managers. A lot of you guys are the face of companies. A lot of you guys have your own businesses. You're entrepreneurs. A lot of you guys do a lot of face interaction with people, and you are the problem solver. Just like you do it at work, you do it at home, and maybe you don't realize it, but a lot of the challenges that arrive, you are the one that handles them already. Now, whether you handle, you know, now if you're starting to look at it differently, you can approach the challenge differently. Like, okay, all right, some shit is popping off. I got to handle something. Let me put my big girl panties on, my big boy briefs, and let's go, right? Okay, because when you handle things like that, God is going to assist you when you handle those things head on. If your car payment is due 2 weeks ago and you ain't got the money, and you know they out there looking for your car, and you ain't called those people, you don't want the car. Why? Because what would you do as a mature adult? You're going to call those people and make arrangements. You're not going to wait until they come searching for your car. These are the things about growing up, handling challenges and problems, right? You got to be on top of these things so that they don't get on top of you.
And I was about to do a segment on the empath archetype. I got 3 sessions, but I'm thinking about leaning the last one towards empaths and the work environment, right? Because a lot of things can arise from your work environment, right? And it's important to understand that too. Like, it's all spiritual. Like, you know, like, yeah, it's best not to even get into it.
She said, how you know I love Sonic?
Wow.
Get up and collect more rings. I got you.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that.
You know?
That's right. When they knock them rings down, boo, you get up and you go pick up them goddamn
That's how
rings.
life is,
I like
though.
that. You go pick up them rings that spilled out your bag.
Life is like that. Like it literally will knock the sonic ring. Like, I was shot, y'all.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about, I literally know how it feels. And I was shot and I was put in a coma. You know, I was shot very bad. Like, it was, I was shot in my back with an F&N, right? And you talking about the sonic rings being knocked out of you. But even then, you know, when I hit the ground, you know what I did? The first thing I did when I hit the ground?
I'm alive.
I said, well, I'm alive, literally. Like, I literally hit that ground, and I wanted to let it go because the impact, I was like, whew, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it was a lot of impact.
Imagine if you didn't have that moment of feeling I'm alive, and you just would have, you know, because you could, I heard you and another brother that had gotten shot before speaking about how that moment really matters. Like, if you don't realize that you're alive at that moment, yeah, right? So it's kind of like, you know, that's
and I
very
think
important.
a lot of it came from me coming up in an environment and seeing that a lot, I knew what was happening to me.
You knew what to like.
So I knew what the, you know what I'm saying? I knew like, okay, I'm shot. So now, and that's for real life. Like,
right,
don't
I'm
let shock.
But you gotta be like,
yeah,
I'm still alive.
Don't let
Get
shock
up.
come in and
Right.
shock immobilize. Like you can't move. All systems go down when shock happens.
Yeah.
So like for me, I was literally walking. You know, I was bleeding from my mouth, my chest, and my nose, right? And in my eyes, believe it or not, I had blood coming out my eyes. But the thing about it was, Spirit was with me, and I remember just taking a steady step at a time, right? Like, I'm making up this hill. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm making up this hill, I'm gonna be okay. But the important thing was I started by realizing I'm alive.
I love that.
I'm alive. You know, after that impact, I was like, I'm still here. I began to talk to God like, am I going to die here?
Imagine
and
that.
God
though.
said, you're going to, Spirit say, no, but you're going to fight.
You know, imagine if we approached every situation, every challenge, like, you know, like that, you know. All right, I've been shot down, but wait a minute, I'm still alive. All right, get up, fight, you know. Go into fight and flight mode, right? So just get up. I know that I've been hit down, but I know if I get up, God is going to guide me.
It's building you. It's building you. You know, the energy of the Bible says, take one step towards Christ and he'll take two towards you. That's effort.
Come on now.
That's all that's saying. If you make an effort, like when I was just saying, y'all, when I got shot, what if I laid there and didn't make an effort to get up? I would have never got saved because I had to literally move a half a block uphill to a busy intersection. See, I got shot on a dark dip. You know, somebody shot me down in a dark place where nobody could see it at. So in order for me to get saved, I had to stand up and walk uphill.
But what if you know?
But if I didn't make that effort,
that challenge right there would have been your life.
I didn't make an effort, I would have stayed there. But with each effort, I could feel God holding me up. I could feel Spirit assisting me.
You felt the guidance.
I knew what to do. Like my lungs was filling up, so I had to take my finger and dig in my mouth and pull it so I could breathe. But I knew to do it because even then, Spirit was working with me.
Giving you little.
I was like, I don't know why I did it.
Because
I just was like,
listen. Think about the challenges, right? We get hit with the challenge, boom, wow, right?
Stay connected to the voice of Spirit.
And then guess what? God is like, all right, in the time of the challenge, are you going to remember everything I've been training you for? Because remember, we've been in training for years. You know?
You stay connected to...
We in training camp since we come. You know, we being trained.
If you stay, like, just speaking about my ordeal is letting me see something about myself that I was never aware of. The whole time from me being shot to me reaching a paramedic, right, which is where I passed out at, you know what helped me? Being connected to the voice of Spirit. Because every little thing that I did...
If not, you would have panicked.
It was, right. I knew to move slow, right? I had my hand right here to stop the blood because the bullet went straight through me from the back. So I knew to stop it and hold it. And innately, I couldn't breathe. You know, as I'm walking, it's filling up. And Spirit say, remove the debris so you can breathe. So I took my finger and I was able to make it. But only because I was staying connected to
the voice.
Instead of going into shock and panicking, I knew like I knew.
You know, I love that God brought this to the light this morning because, you know, if this is going to help someone deal with a challenge the next time. You know, this is really going to help someone when you feel like you have been shot and down, maybe not literally, you know, you're going to be able to be like, okay, wait a minute, let me hold on to the voice because the voice will guide you.
You can navigate.
Come on, Lord.
Trust me.
Come on,
If I did it in the physical and it saved my life, surely somebody's problem is not going to be a physical burden like mine. Somebody is a spiritual burden. So you need to know, do like I did in the physical. I was shot with an effing and I had to stay connected to the voice. Like when I hit the ground, I wanted to stay there.
Come on.
Because it was an impact.
Come on.
I was like,
guess what happens with a challenge?
And then all of a sudden it was
fight or flight.
I was quickened. Our voice was like, you in it. I was like, I'm living. Then I was like, shit, I gotta get up. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, real slow and steady. I got up. And mind you, I forgot to mention there was a deterrent in my story. Because see, I almost did go in the shop. A little kid, I saw him. And he was like, you bleeding. You bleeding from your mouth and your back and your eyes. You bleeding. And when he was saying it, I was
Freaking you out.
fighting back, panic like, and I almost wanted them to disappear like, little nigga, go somewhere, right? But the thing about it, I still had that voice saying, just go up. Just push to the top of the hill where the streets meet. Because it was a corner, you know. It was a Edison Highway is the name of the street.
Well, you know.
Right, and I hit it. And when I got there, y'all, once I hit Edison Highway, I could feel myself and my will letting go. Like, so I just knelt down in the street. And next thing I know, I woke up, I was in the hospital. But I say that to say that little voice was still there, right? I could have gave over and panicked and been like, I'm bleeding, oh shit.
Well, think about how many times we do panic. So, right? Imagine, like I said, if you would have panicked, you could have possibly been gone, right? And it's so important that God brought us here today because someone needs to really know, like, you know, things will knock you down, but if you stay focused on the voice, remember your life was predestined. These things were already written down to happen. Do you believe that when you're in these situations, God is going to carry you out? That's the faith, right? That's what gets you over the situation.
That's right.
Right? But a lot of times we panic, we have anxiety attacks, we feel like the world is over as soon as something happens.
We go into shock.
We go into shock when we don't
Spiritual
understand.
shock.
We have been being prepared for everything the entire time. Right? Why do you think you had a knowing of to take your finger, your Akashic records, the things you've seen in life, the things you've witnessed? God put a knowing in you. So when that situation happened, you knew to go and let me get this on in here, God. I heard you.
And had he not done that, I wouldn't be here today and be effective at. Now I can look back and see why. Back then, I ain't see why. Because look, when it happened to me, it's funny. I went back to the congregation of people that I was with, and none of them even act like they didn't even want to acknowledge what happened. You know what I'm saying?
No, they said you should have been there.
It was like, why was you outside at that time? And I was like, word? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why was I outside at that time? Not are you okay? Did you make it? It was none of that. But I learned in that, right? Because I shouted. See, at this point, I was a part of church. I went and shouted to the point where as though they was like, keep it. You ain't supposed to be doing that. You gonna have a blood clot. And I did. But it came out. But I shouted because that was my connectivity. I wasn't worried. I knew God sent me a voice to follow. And I knew at that dark place, wasn't nobody there with me. Even the guy that shot me, he was gone. So
Come on,
wasn't nobody there with me. It's like he left that with me and he was out of there, right? I swear, when I looked around, he was gone. So it was like I'm literally out here by myself. And that's the same way with life. God got you more than ever on a more intense level because after it all happened and I healed up in a year, guess what? Can't nobody tell me nothing about that. I had to dumb down my arrogance because I would listen to people's testimony and be like, oh, that shit ain't about nothing. Let me tell you what I went through, right? But I felt like, even that I went to God, like, God, why didn't they even come and ask me to give my testimony? And God said, because, son, it's just people are going to be people. And some things, they are too powerful. See, I wasn't asked to give my testimony because it would have swayed people. And look where I'm headed. See, it would have made people follow me where I'm headed at. So they don't, no, we don't want that testimony to come out that much. This a law or something, right? Just say a law or something. And it's crazy because my last part of my testimony, I'm going to give y'all, and this hurts, but I'm going to give it because I want you to know the depth of the enemy. A person who I consider to be a leader of mine, right? When I got shot, I went through 2 surgeries. The initial surgery was a farce because they thought that the bullet went in and out of me, right? But come to find out, it was a tumbler. So it had tumbled down and did more damage
Than they expected.
it shredded my liver. But they didn't see that. So basically, they sold me up, and then the doctor came the next day and was like, something ain't right. And I kept telling him, like, Doc, something ain't right. And he looked in my eyes, he took one look, and he was like, I know what's wrong, right? I was bleeding. Now listen, because it happened and they sold me up quick, and they gave me visitors because this was before I lapsed into a coma. All this happened, this led to the coma. Now, when this happened and they patched me up, they let me have visitors the very next day. A person that I thought was a leader, you know what he came and told me?
Yeah, that's sad.
He said, you know how sometimes people put themselves in situations when they want people to feel sorry for
That's
them.
crazy, ain't it? A leader telling
Yo, he said
like
that to me
shot.
as if I went out and got
Like you
shot.
got shot.
But see, he
That's
thought it was
sick.
superficial still.
Yeah, that was
because
sick.
they patched me up
That was
and
sick.
I was out. You know, I was in, people was able to come to see me the next day. I hadn't lost any weight. I hadn't done, in fact, I looked a little up because I was bleeding. So I was a little bit swole. So the very next day, and after he said that, I ended up slipping into a coma because I had internal bleeding. So mind you, I went into the coma with that on my mind, like, damn, y'all think I really did this to myself? But when I came out of it, it let me see. I never forgot that darkness that I saw in that leader.
And you won't.
Right? And I never had to call him or check him about it, but I knew what he said to me. And when I came back around and I got my strength, I confronted him and he said, oh, nah, that ain't happened. You must have heard it the wrong way. So that was double times now. I said, no, nigga, I know what I heard. I ain't heard nothing crazy. But what it showed me was that even leaders are shrouded by darkness. Just because a person is a leader, that don't mean nothing. Your destiny is enriched in something that supersedes leaders.
Come on.
Your destiny is connected to the Most High.
That's real.
And if you somewhere where you don't belong, whether it's leaders or not, God is going to draw you out.
Come on now.
Because your life is not consistent of somebody's religious agenda. Your life is not consistent of being a part of a congregation that contributes to somebody else, riding around in luxury cars and all of that goofy shit, right? Your life could be connected to something so much deeper. And maybe this is why some of you are being drawn out of religious places. You can't no longer walk with people you may have even grew up with because God is pulling us out of there. We wasn't ever meant to be in there. You was meant to be being effective and strengthening this collective. Strengthening these people to tap into their gifts. Strengthening these people to see the world for what it really is. Before this shit all fall away and then people be taken by surprise like, oh, I didn't know the world really looked like this.
Yeah, that's real. You were talking about this morning.
I told her, you know what I
husband
said?
just said that this morning.
And I'm going to say it, right? And I know that all the spirits is going to be mad at me for saying this, right? But I see this deeply. As far as the Bible goes, the Bible is not the wrong book. The Bible is none of that. The Bible is incomplete. The Bible in Ethiopia is 84 books, not 66. The Ethiopian Bible is the Bible that Jesus Christ, Yeshua, studied from. The same Bible that they guarded. Ethiopia has held this Bible. So what happened was Christ came. It's documented history. For all you people that be like, well, with Jesus, it's documented. We're going to call him Yeshua for the sake of being exact. Yeshua walked the face of the earth.
That's right, Cash.
Yeshua walked the face of the earth. And then, guess what? Rome didn't like him. But when he died, you know what Rome said? Oh, this Yeshua, this Jesus, is much great power. So what can we do? We need to take the doctrine that he preached for ourselves. So they had a meeting called the Council of Nicaea. At this meeting, after Jesus died, they decided we're going to go around the world and kill everybody that had the doctrine of Christ. Anybody that had something that Christ gave them, we coming for it. Why? Because we want to control the narrative. And we're going to compose only 66 Bibles, books, and put it in the Bible. We're not going to put the book of Enoch in at the Council of Nicaea. They say we can't put the book of Enoch in the Bible. Why? Because it offers too much cosmic independence. They're going to see who they really is if we do this. We can't let them read Enoch. If they read of Enoch, they're going to awaken. We can't let them read Jubilees. We can't let them read the lost years of Jesus because it's going to enlighten them. But I'm telling you, the Bible said, take the child and flee to Egypt, which means Jesus grew up in Egypt, which is Africa. Why do we know that? Because Pharaoh was coming to get him, and Jesus sent marrying them to Egypt. God sent them. Remember, God said, take the child and flee to Egypt. Then we ain't hear from Jesus till he was grown. He grew up in Africa. Where is the Bible? Is in Africa. The real Bible. The Ethiopians have it. And you know what's going to happen eventually? You know how the Bible and all of these holy books talk about these divine beings that are heavenly that's going to walk back on this earth? They're going to show up in Ethiopia, y'all. You want me to tell you why? Because Ethiopia is the only nation that guarded the text. If you notice, Ethiopia, they ain't loud. They ain't in the news. They don't do none of that. In fact,
they do community co-ops.
When Rome came, because see, Rome traversed the whole world and got all the literature about Jesus, right? Because they wanted to control the narrative, right? And after they got all the literature, right, they said, "Is one more place that we need to get." And that's the Bible in Ethiopia. So you know what they did? They invaded Ethiopia. And guess what Ethiopia did? Don't worry about that. Guess what Ethiopia did? Instead of fighting them for the relics and the gold, like, you know, churches were composed of relics and gold and all of that, and, memorabilia. This is what Ethiopia said. Let them have all that. Get the text and let's go to the mountain. Yeah, Ethiopia let Rome have all of that, and they took two things. The text, and guess what else they took? The Ark of the Covenant. And if you know anything about the Ark of the Covenant, the power of the Bible in the Old Testament, it is centered around the Ark of the Covenant. It's the thing you couldn't touch or you would burst asunder. There was so much divinity on a particular thing that only a high priest could grab it. And Ethiopia got it. So what you think that's looking like in the future? I'm just giving you some insight, right? Because some things are going to start. You hear them talking about the Anunnakis and all of these. If anything come back in this world, which it will, in them skies, that we know, we look up there and we don't see nothing. Well, there's going to come a day when we look up there and we're going to see things that we never seen before. And mark my word, Ethiopia is going to be significant, y'all. And the book of Enoch. So if you never read it, about time you read it. About time you grow up and read the book of Enoch. That was the message.
Well, that was your message, guys. We are hungry.
We out of here.
We are so hungry, so we probably want to go eat. Look, y'all want to help us out? Y'all know what it is. Look, if you would like to contribute to our page, all of our information is on our page. If you would like to send us spiritual donations to help the elemental beings go eat today, we would appreciate it, okay? All right? Thank you guys for all of your time, all of your love, your support, your energy. We love you guys so, so much. We hope you guys enjoyed the message. And we'll be back later on this afternoon after we go fill up these bellies.
God bless you.
We elemental beings, and we love you guys. Keep your spirit protected, and we'll catch y'all this afternoon.